if we were to give you 1 million rand right now, and we say you've got a week off, what are you doing that week?
Oh, I'm going to Japan same time, and I'm going to go to Tokyo, Shibuya Crossing. There's some really dope thrifting places there, and I'm buying all the clothes in the world and then coming back.
You don't have to think about. You just went in.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. I think about this a lot without.
You and I are on a brunch date with Manana Malafbag. This one is Little Things. He's got an impressive record behind his back, man. He's worked with Asha, Nasty C, Tyler, Banner Boy. Like, can't believe the names that you were dropping, man. And also he released a latest EP titled Our Broken Hearts Mended. And we talking all things about it this morning on Something Brunchy, Malafbag. So Manana, I want to start here. You broke in 2020, right?
I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's say 2020.
Sure.
Right. So when you broke, were you always, before you broke out, right, were you always writing about love?
I mean, look, my first step into the industry was as a writer. And if I think back on the songs that I wrote for different artists, I would say that there was a lot of love centered around it. But actually the first like proper song that I landed on like an artist project was probably with Faku, and it wasn't really about love.
So Hlangana,
yeah,
one of my favorites actually.
Yeah. So I guess love, as far as my artist stuff, was always front and center, but it's not necessarily been the focus with other artist projects. Yeah.
So with yourself, when you write, do you center it into your own personal love life, or is it something you've experienced before? Because Little Things is a beautiful song.
So I always say that, like, with my music, it's not 100% of everything like that I relate to. But at different stages of my life, I've related to other things more than others. And funny enough, even the love songs aren't necessarily like I can write love and heartbreak right now, even though I am currently in love. And I feel as though writing about love isn't necessarily supposed to be experiential. I think writing in general, if you want to be a vocational writer, it doesn't necessarily have to be experiential. Much like a novelist would write about wizards and Harry Potter, but not necessarily be a wizard themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's how I view it. Only because you don't have to write where you are in your life every single time. Because if I'm sad for 3 years, I'm only going to write sad songs. You know, it's a little tricky.
Billie Eilish kind of nailed it. She was depressed for some time, and throughout those years, she kind of killed it.
Can I say something a little controversial? You
are allowed.
Some people can have leeway to write certain things, but some people don't have that liberty. I always use John Legend as an example, but I'm like, John Legend like wrote about cheating for an entire album, and then, you know, fell in love, and he's been writing about love ever since, and other things, I'm sure. But I'm like, people love the cheating stuff.
Because we experience it.
Yeah, but now if you want to try get people involved in your journey, you have to kind of give everything of like a piece of everything. Actually, you don't have to. I think that it's nice to give people a journey of love, heartbreak, like life things. With the song called Patiently, kind of going through things. I don't necessarily think you have to kind of write where you are at all times. Some people like Billie Eilish, obviously I think are very successful because a lot of their people go through that stuff. But we also know that in our context, like, I don't know if Billie Eilish is like, I don't know if she's on our number one playlist. I love Billie Eilish, by the way, but not every time, you know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah. I think I like her now, the happier version of her now.
I mean, we were introduced to the sad version, right? So I think we love the fact that she's happy, but we were drawn to her sadness.
Yeah,
you know what
we
I
were
mean?
drawn to her depression and saying like, oh man, this is how you felt? Really?
Yeah.
So do you feel that every time you write, you leave a piece of your soul with us?
No.
Not at all. I feel like you're lying to us. What?
No, like, let me say it like this. If I did do that, I'd be leaving a lot of my soul everywhere. Think about it. Because like I work a lot on other people's things, right? And yes, okay, it's a journey of like trying to figure out how much I give to other people, how much I leave for myself. But let me say it like this. I think there is I pour my soul into something, but I don't necessarily leave anything behind. I think for me, a lot of the time, writing and emoting in a creative form is also cerebral. It's a thought process more than just feeling things.
Yeah.
So I leave a lot of my mind and soul, but I put a lot of my mind and soul into stuff, but I don't think I leave anything behind because I still have more to give. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense or whatever.
I think I understand. So you mentioned you wrote for Faku. Who have you wrote for and you feel like, you know what? I'm just writing.
No,
can
I give
whisper
my
it
soul
to
to
me.
other artists. I always make sure. Look, at the end of the day, obviously I've worked with a lot of female artists, and even the Usher experience. Like, the reality of the matter is, I'm not going to be able to relate to your life and your life experience.
True.
So I can't necessarily put my heart and soul into something that I can't relate to all the way. But when, like, for example, with Shekinah, when we're in studio, she'll kind of, tell us where she's at right now in life, what's going on, all that kind of stuff. And through those discussions, then I'm able to think, it'd be a dope concept for a song. This, and that, And rather than trying to make it an emotive experience all the time, I think it can limit you because you're not going to, all of us, we don't really feel like going to work sometimes. You don't feel like studying. You don't feel like you know what I'm saying? But we do things that we don't feel like doing all the time. I think writing is one of those things. If you want to be good at it anyway. Not to say that.
And then if you want to be bad? Okay.
Live your life. If you want to be bad, don't listen. It's fine.
Can I be spicy?
Go ahead.
The people you've worked with when it comes to writing, who's the best, who's the worst writer you've met? And you can't really say much because they've got experience under their belt.
Let me think. If I'm okay, I'm gonna be honest, very honest, because the cameras are on and people are listening. I'm gonna be very honest. Everyone that I've worked with has been phenomenal at writing. That's me just being honest because the cameras are on. Everyone that I've worked with is actually like really, really good at writing. And also remember, I'm usually in a studio with an artist maximum for a week. They like do stuff by themselves anyway, right? So when I'm in the room, I'm just, I'm an addition to the space, not necessarily a main character.
So cameras are off, lights are off, no one is listening, it's just you and I. Who's that
Between
one?
you and I, everyone is phenomenal. Like, they're so good and they're proficient in their craft.
No, I understand. I like your answer.
Indeed. I like it too.
So let's just wrap up and talk about your EP that you released in August. How is it going? How was it like just compiling that EP?
So, it was a long journey. It's actually an LP, a full-length album. And we kind of put it together over 4 years. One of the first few songs actually on the album was Little Things. We started with that honestly 4 years ago and only finished it probably beginning of this year.
Yeah.
It was a good journey. It kind of taught me a lot about myself and what I like, what I don't like. Also, I feel like it's better than anything I've ever done, which is good. So I see growth in the project as well. I had the privilege of working with some really dope producers, some really good features. A very humbling experience. It's a lot of work putting an album together. And I think the response has been really kind. People have been really gracious and warm with their reception of the project. So it's been good.
Don't you feel like giving up? It's 4 years. This thing is not coming together. What are we doing?
To be honest, you don't feel like giving up when you're making music. You feel like giving up when it's out and you have to get on stage
and perform.
Like, I think people maybe have more like knowledge as to what it takes to put like an album together, but people don't really know what it takes to get on stage. I think stage work is a lot harder than like album. In an album, I can have a good day, bad day, you guys won't know. But the time spent in studio is like, it's chilled, you know what I mean? If I get it wrong, I just delete, I re-record. I get it wrong, I delete, I re-record. On stage, I have one time to tell you what my voice is saying today. If I wake up with the flu, if I wake up with food poisoning, I have to be on stage. And in those days, you're just like, dude. And sometimes, if like I'm putting on one of my own shows, if I want the quality to, and I do want it to be the highest quality show, highest quality performance, sometimes it'll cost me more money to put the show on than your ticket price, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't make money from the show, I lose money. but I want to make sure that anyone who buys a ticket to see my show leaves being like, I could have paid double for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you still want to create an experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, the experience must not like only be on the album.
Exactly.
Ooh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So tell me, when it comes to performing, what makes you channel in? Because a lot of things happen in the day and you still have a performance at the end of the day or later on in the day. What helps you to channel into Manana?
I am not that different from my on-stage personality. I think I am... I'm about to say some things that you may agree with or disagree with.
You're allowed.
I think I'm a person that's full of personality and, so I just do me on stage. It's actually not... I don't think it's that tough. And I've been doing it for a while, so it's not actually that difficult for me to get on stage. What is, I think, tougher is keeping it fresh, because if we're doing, obviously people they'll like a lot of the same songs, and every now and then we'll get a request for a different song, but it's tough to sing little things 100 times, you know what I'm saying? Like that's maybe the thing, to just keep it fresh, also keep myself as excited as
the first time you're performing it. Yeah. Ooh, I can imagine. So do you always sing it because it's in high demand?
Oh yeah, for sure. Every now and then I'll add one of the songs that I like that maybe people aren't streaming as much, just for my sake, but yeah, like I still love singing songs like Little Things. I love also the fact that people sing every lyric, every line. Like it's a privilege to be able to get on stage and see people crying to a song you've written. It's truly a privilege. So yeah.
No man, thank you to come to Something Brunchy. One last question. If we were to give you 1 million rand right now and you say you've got a week off, what are you doing that week?
Oh, I'm going to Japan same time, and I'm going to go to Tokyo, Shibuya Crossing. There's some really dope thrifting places there, and I'm buying all the clothes in the world and then coming back.
You don't have to think about it. You just went in.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. I think about this a lot without. Nah, actually, next year I actually genuinely want to go to Japan, but yeah, that's what.
So you're a big thrifter?
No.
Then why?
No. So a friend of mine actually went to Japan, and she was telling me that the thrift culture there isn't like anywhere else in the world. Here, obviously, with us, it's more or less like clothes from all over the world. People have worn the clothes, which is dope, which means they have character. But in Japan, apparently, the way they take care of their clothes means that you're basically shopping fresh, like clothes at like a discounted price.
Really?
And also, the culture means that the designs are just like interesting and vibes. It's like, yeah, I want to check it out. That's my thing.
Now I want to go to Japan with you to go thrifting.
Yeah, low key. Trust me.
No man.
Yeah.
I hope that you do go to Japan and safe travels.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to Something Brunchy.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Malafbag, it's 33 just after 11 o'clock here on Something Brunchy, and that was our brunch date with Manana.
Because ordinary radio just won't cut it. 20 FM, rocking Pitori hits like no one else. Here's another hit from Pitori to the world.